Our gospel reading for this morning comes from John's gospel, one of the many discourses, or a portion of one, that you find in that gospel. As Jesus is moving closer to his arrest and death, he speaks of that using the metaphor of the Good Shepherd. This is one of a number of passages in John where there is a unique structure, the so-called I am sayings of Jesus, where the I am carries more weight. We don't really have a way of saying this in English, but this is not the normal way to say I am the Good Shepherd. It is a way with emphasis, and it was a way that was used by Jews when they translated the Bible into Greek to substitute for the divine name, picking up on the I am passages from Exodus. And so when Jesus uses the I am here, there is a hint of divinity in that usage. And so let us listen now for what the Spirit is saying to us this day. I am the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand, who is not the shepherd and who does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and runs away, and the wolf snatches them and scatters them. The hired hand runs away because the hired hand does not care for the sheep. I am the Good Shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father. And I lay my life down for the sheep. I have other sheep that do not belong to this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock, one shepherd. For this reason the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have the power to lay it down, and I have power to take it up again. I have received this command from my Father. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. I mentioned not so long ago in a previous sermon that I had set myself up a Facebook account on the internet social networking site. And turns out I was part of a huge trend. Even though Facebook and things like MySpace were originally developed and exclusively for young people, it seems that over the last several months that people over 35 have accounted for a huge portion of the growth in Facebook accounts. Now, no doubt, this means that there are an ever-growing number of folks in their offices somewhere wasting time at their computers, checking on the updates and comments from their Facebook friends. I've seen newspaper articles which seek to estimate the loss of productivity as a result of Facebook and other similar sites. And if you believe that, there's quite a bit of wasted time going on in offices. And I have to confess that I have wasted a little time now and then. Now, you wouldn't think it would be that enticing. I mean, I really don't need to know that my seminary classmate Ed just had barbecue for lunch at the Picking Pig, a restaurant in Carthage, North Carolina. Most of the stuff on Facebook is remarkably mundane. I'm having breakfast before heading off to work. Just dropped the kids off at school. So proud that Johnny got a hit in the t-ball game last night. And yet, if I don't exercise some self-discipline, I will be on my Facebook page every few minutes checking to see if anyone has posted anything new, if anyone has commented on something that I've said, if anyone has asked to friend me. It's a sort of strange way that Facebook has made a verb out of the word friend. But there is something incredibly gratifying about receiving a friend request. Would you be my friend? And so lots of people are wasting incredible amounts of time in the so-called virtual community of Facebook rather than getting the things they are supposed to be doing done. And as I was at my computer working on this sermon, I found myself thinking about and wondering about the differences between the real world and the Facebook world. Now, in the real world, we are often identified by what we do, usually meaning what we do for a living. Facebook is a waste of time precisely because it cuts into what we're supposed to be doing, because it keeps us from being productive and turning out that product that defines us. After all, the great American icon is someone who does something, the self-made man, the self-made woman, who does great things, who makes a mark on the world, who does something great. We Americans are enamored with doing. We want to do things even when we get away from work. As that phrase, "I need a vacation to recover from my vacation," so aptly says. The virtual world of Facebook, by contrast, isn't much about doing things. True, people will ask you, "So what do you do?" And people will put up posts on their Facebook page about their business, about their work. But for the most part, little on Facebook contributes to getting anything done. There are pictures of rainbows and children and grandchildren. There are happy birthday wishes and lists of favorite songs and favorite movies and favorite books and favorite musical groups and on and on and on. You don't have to do anything to be a part of Facebook. It's simply there. And if you feel inclined to sign up, before you know it, people will be friending you and telling you what they had for lunch. If the real world is about doing, the Facebook world is all about simply being. Now, I would never recommend Facebook over participation in a real community. But I think part of the appeal of Facebook is that it addresses a genuine human need, one that is often neglected in our culture. The need for a place simply to connect, to simply belong. The Facebook community does not ask for your credentials. You don't have to be productive to join it. It's remarkably open, remarkably accepting. Just show up, and you're welcomed, and you're invited to come in.